Hello. Hi, I'm Amorph. I make games so that you can play the games, but today we are drawing. So, specifically, there's this website called VGen, upon which you can post your commissions. But it's an exclusive platform, so you need an invite to get in. In order to get the invite, you need to either have one from somebody that's already there, or you participate in a monthly competition they have. Each month they post a theme, and to that theme you submit the drawing, and the top 10% get in, which is how the platform remains, I think, secure and ensures quality and not just bots, I believe. It's also anti-AI, which is also quite neat for a lot of artists. Um, yeah, overall, this month's theme is horse. It will delight you all to know that I have not drawn a horse before. Or at least not to my memory. I believe I've tried my hand at them a couple times, but I'm not much of a horse person specifically. They don't feature in my drawings like at all. Like at all. I usually go for like skulls and birds if we're gonna be honest. Like that's about it, honestly. Oh, and eyes, of course. Of course, couldn't forget those. So yeah, on the account of things that we're drawing, let me introduce you to the brushes. Also, I'm using Clip Studio Paint. It's a very good software. I used to have it in a layout that's more Photoshop-like because the software actually allows you to do that. But I've lost it, and I'm currently on a laptop which is trying desperately not to explode. And succeeding. I honestly applaud it for doing so because it's great when it doesn't randomly shut down and work. It's pretty good. Pretty good is what I'm saying. That's the main reason I haven't been streaming like games or game making content is because my laptop's not really powered for that. I have been trying to do like a little game on the side with 2D stuff, but that's neither here nor there at the moment. And as such, we will continue. So, on the account of brushes and things, there's a couple that I use. So, my most favorite one, as you could probably tell, God, it is very laggy. We're doomed. We're genuinely doomed. Unless I have. No, I haven't accidentally exited out of XP Pen. It just is like this. Great. Alright. Today's gonna be very fun. It's kind of like when I used to draw without having a screen on my tablet. The first tablet I got was a really old and also broken Vacuum tablet, which I didn't know was broken. And it had an awful pen jitter to it, so anytime I tried to draw a straight line, it would go all like this. So I learned to draw them really fast, so it would kind of avoid the effect. And this kind of reminds me of that a lot because I also can't see whatever I'm doing at the moment because it lags so bad. I have an idea for what I'm going to be doing with the drawing though, which is quite grand. But again, this brush is my beloved and favorite and also standards airbrush. Other than that, normally use I use the oil brush quite nicely. I'll go over them as I use them also. This is the pencil brush. It's quite grand. I do really like it. I have some custom settings on it, which Clip Studio allows me to use. And over here is where the tool settings are. They're quite neat. Um, Outside of that, I do also have like a couple. There's the slice pen which I used to use it very frequently. Back when my art was less. I'm not sure. At one point I started texturing my art in order to be able to complete it quicker, and just be more entertained while I'm doing it, so they keep my attention on it. And I haven't used this pen much since. I do try because it makes my art look like nice and polished, but it doesn't really work. So I end up just switching back to the pencil one for some reason. It's there. There's a couple of the default ones I use. Default brushes are great. Honestly, you don't need special ones for this. Oh, on the account of that, actually, I can't draw grass really well. I think that's a funny part of it. The I'll reference what some of my drawings look like so that you guys can like sort of understand the baseline of whatever style I'm going for, or lack thereof. Honestly, it's a bit of a mix, I suppose. Some of my like older pieces, if it'll here's one that'll load. Um, so abstract sort of things, I suppose, in a way. I wouldn't call it abstract. I personally am a huge fan of absurdism, which is a art and I suppose philosophy movement. You know, I hate philosophy, right? Um, but I can get behind absurdism, and I really like the drawings. That being said, I will also mention that I absolutely hate surrealism. And while some people will say that they're very similar, there is a bit of a difference between them, which is that while realism plays on the proportion, surrealism plays in the proportions of space. Absurdism tends to ask you why you're there. Like there's things that are just you wouldn't see them in surrealism because they're weird. I suppose. It's a whole thing. Um, but yeah. So some nice ones. As such, and I have an idea for the horse one. It's not one I'm that passionate about, like one of my more recent ones that you see on the thumbnail today, but which I will not open because, once again, I believe my laptop will not cope per se with opening another art file, especially considering that file is rather large, I think. It's not a particularly big fan of it. So we will not be using that. I have done a rudimentary sketch on my phone with my finger, which we will be using. It's great. Are you ready for this? Ta-da! I love the notes that I took on this, which basically just say lesbian horse. I'm also supposed normally, draw several thumbnails when you do this sort of thing, and I really would, but I don't feel like it. Like I've tried to think of what else I could do with the horse that would be better than this current idea, which I know looks bad, but you have to trust me. You have to. Look at my credentials. You've seen my art. You can trust me. You can do it. Um, so nonetheless, I do hate that I will have to like actually use the principles of acrylic paint for this one. It does really sadden me so, because I don't like using acrylic paint. I prefer to use gouache, and I'll consider using oil. Honestly, oil seems cool and is the kind that you'd be able to do a lot of blending with. But like, you know, I should probably get onto drawing less than yapping, in all honesty, because otherwise I will not get anything done, and it will be horrible. Okay, right. If we go off of that, there are two brushes that I can use. I can go for, I think, gouache brush here, with the one that can also do a lot of good. Oh, this will be horrible. Oh, no, I lie. I just, in fact, if only it was a little bit quicker. Remind me to never try streaming on this laptop that involves any kind of software again. I normally don't, that's why I do reading streams of books and things. But oh, okay, that's not good. It doesn't overlay really well. We'll have to go. Still not good enough. Better, better. If I then go over here and add a little bit of red, I think I should be fine. Hypothetically speaking. It's funny because my laptop genuinely doesn't have almost anything else running at the moment. I'm really considering just like closing my. Even if I close my Pinterest tab, it's not going to save it. Oh well. Alright, with that in mind, let me check some of my references that I have saved up. We will. It's not quite a good color. Much better. Okay. Over here, but then it's not quite green. It's more. Oh, please. Go away. It was. Ah! Not a big fan of the pop-ups the Windows does nowadays. I think it's like a. It really makes it feel like a virus on occasion. Please work. This is all I'm asking for. This would be so embarrassing if I end up not being able to do quite literally anything. I'd probably have to re-upload just a recording instead, and pray to dear God the recording works, because that would have to use the same software as the live stream does. Good lord. I think it's about to crash, actually. Oh, It's worse. It's not crashing. You know, if it crashes, we're doomed. I really did think that maybe running just one drawing app would would be fine. It'll be okay. I understand now. Perhaps I was mistaken. Wait, come back. Can I control Z? I can. Control Shift Z? No. No. Okay, where is that coming from? It's a shame because I can't even predict where my... No, actually, I could. I've overcome worse. We can do this. Can we do this? Good lord. Or I suppose evil one if this is what we're experiencing. One would call it technical difficulties, but that one would be but a liar. In amongst... Usually you don't want those brushes to be like big. I wonder if I use smaller brushes if it would go faster. I mean, a little bit, but not particularly. I will return to my natural habitat with the humongous brushes. It would also be better and within benefit for me to use... Oh, actually, I can block it out. Delightful, and then if we go here, if the colors are all off, I can change them later in a gradient map. Upon realizing. Good enough for me. You know what? Good enough for me. Now, where was I? Right. In which case, I hate to do this because it would require a little bit of light. Return to whence you came. My lord. They're not doing really well, is it? Wait, hold on. It's coming back. Yes! Yes! I can actually do things. This is crazy. Unheard of. Is the lag adjusting itself? Are we finally free from this torment? I don't think so, but like... Okay, not bad. And then... where was I? Oh, right. Let's... If I add this one, it's hopefully going to do what I need it to do and lighten thing. Yes, it does. Thank fuck. Oh. Excessively so, I suppose. But we're all not without our vices. And none of us are blame-free for whatever is going on. Except for you, my dear viewer. You are blame-free for whatever's going on. This will take a lot longer than I anticipated. You know what, I'm just gonna try to continue until eventually we figure it out. Maybe I'll even... No, this brush will be probably the worst. I wonder if using a more opaque brush will make it a little happier with me. Oh, I hate that it is. I don't like using opaque brushes though. I don't. They're not... I haven't done an art style in this style in a while. You know, and haven't done cell shading in so long. Maybe years like 5 or something. I can, but not as much joy to it. Alright, the woods. I wonder if I save it, if it will also go faster. It's marginally improved in speed. I lie. I need to stop changing myself, I believe. I really do. Why do I even bother trying to use the tool for moving along the canvas? Why do I try? If we're lucky, this will not crash it. We are unfortunately not lucky, as quite literally none of my buttons work. All I wish is to change the color. And yet. It's not in a good color either, because I was going to go for green, but Alas. Oh, alright. If this is the proportion of those, it does suck a little bit, honestly, to, mm, alright, we attempt again. Actually, I'll just use, no, I wouldn't use green. Would I use green? It's the same either way, since the gradient map will have to be applied over the entire thing. I suppose I could try adding some, like, that's usually what you would use a screen layer for, actually, to add the, like, slightly bluishness of it. If you'll see and perceive here for a second. See, that kind of makes it more in the distance, I suppose. Oh, it's horrible looking. I also don't like the pink, if we're gonna be honest. I will have to use the wash of pink, but I really don't want to. Perhaps if I find a nicer pink. What color are you? Yes, I think that's slightly better. Better than nothing, I suppose. Now we wait for the color wheel to wake up and acknowledge what I have done to it. I'm suspecting it will not do such a thing. Yes, it did, finally. Took it long enough. And then reduce, and then over here. Hey, it worked, if nothing else. Yes, yes. This is what, like, drawing in your imagination is like, I believe. Because, like, most of this is in my head more than it is on the canvas at the moment, as you can probably tell. Right, and then we could try going for the green angle. Probably not the best idea. Let's saturate it. Right, and then saturate it further. Not the worst. And then not the worst, not the worst. We're doing great so far. Doing marvelous even. Yeah, not too bad. Already establishing some things. I'm not quite certain if this is the direction I want to go with it. Perhaps? No, it was. I was entirely correct. I shall never doubt myself again. Or at least such is the desire. Indeed. I wish to make a slightly more yellow version of this color. Yes, that should do nicely in theory. Oh, and in practice. Nothing if not consistent. Too large. And too bright. Well, we have not much choice, so I suppose we'll have to tolerate such behavior. No, we won't, actually. Or will we? No. Perhaps a textured brush will do the job. Perhaps they'll do it well. Go into the 3 pixel setting. I'm quite satisfied with that. Next, as we are dealing with a banana, it would be great to also add, right, the trees go in this direction, in which case more go underneath, in which case I would be probably better off using, oh, good lord, where's the previous brush was using? I should really put the oil pan and the other brush next to each other. Indeed. And not too bad, but nonetheless not entirely where I was going with this. No. Not quite satisfied with that outcome. Oh wait, no. No, I'm right, I'm correct. It's not quite in the way I have presumed initially. Now if we add more blue, yes, that should do nicely. It does, as expected. Quite nice. Quite nice. Now I know this looks like nothing yet, but I can sort of envision the trees spawning in this kind of manner. No, that branch is too big. Mm-hmm. Pretty good, and likewise, I believe they would be better off dealing with the second one, and then perhaps adding. It's not quite the correct shade or nothing, but it will have to do. Yes, I will have to add more of the leaves, but I'm hesitant to do it at the moment, for I fear it will blend in too far with the branches. For the leaves, at our current moment, the color we have chosen for them is pink, which is quite similar to the color of the trunks. It's not without hope, but nonetheless, it's not quite what I'm going for with this particular thing. This, by which I mean I'm trying to make a little knot in the wood here where a bird would likely sit and perch. But there's too much detail in that particular stance. I'm not entirely certain if I should continue or if I shall abandon that particular escapade. I'm leaning towards abandon, but so far continuing has not betrayed me yet. Yes, continue it was. Alright, with the next everything, I suppose. I will have to probably use a dark green, but not this version. It's not the best, but I will doubt it's gonna be the worst. It's not entirely satisfying, as you may imagine. What was I trying to... Right, and then that would mean, which would mean, yes, in the background. Almost. In which case, yes, and as such, we have our first layers of a canopy that we can deal with. Yes, and although I'm not quite satisfied with that. Perhaps, yes, that would be much nicer. Now, how to add the green is the real question, but I suppose it's not. Truly silly of me to assume otherwise. Or was it? Now, currently we're using blue as a way to show shade. However, I believe there is something more that we could do in this instance. It's just lacking at the moment, as you can see. Not a lot is coming together. As such, perhaps... Oh, wait. Yes, but also no, not quite. I would want to go more cyan with them. And cyan is... There we go. Adjacent. And possibly over here. It does do its job, but not much more. I will have to return to this and then perhaps add purple somehow. It's a bit delicate of an affair, if I must confess. It does do the job, though. I think about now is where we would usually texture in more manually. It is quite a shame that I cannot do so in nearly enough. Wait, no, I can. Multiply layer. Quite grand, quite grand. And then after I'm done over here, we can also change the opacity of such a thing. As the stream goes on, I'm proud to announce that the technical issues appear to be reducing, which is just wonderful. Just truly wonderful. No, oh wait, I thought it was too simple of a shape, but perhaps I was wrong. Perhaps the simple shapes is, in fact, what will aid us within this particular painting. I have originally considered it to use, well, as you have seen in some of my drawings prior, I do use harsh shapes, squares, rectangles, circles, on occasion frames of just solid color. And such, it would not be out of character to do such thing too. Not that I particularly care for character or lack in the Rolf, but nonetheless. We will eventually have to tackle these trees over here, though, and the background that drives them. But until then, I'll do another multiply layer of thing, just that not entirely satisfied with it. Unless no. It has its charms, but the charming points do not last. Even then, there's more to be done here. Unless we shall move on. Shall we? We should move on. It's truly the art of it. But I'm reluctant to do so at the moment. Yes, as you can perceive, I will grab that one, which in order to right, yes, much better. Also much better. Right, sweet, and then I can multiply that, and ideally we would want to reduce it on this side so that it's but a shade of this particular bush upon the tree, and perhaps some off the tree, but not. Yes, that is delightful. I will only have to use a mask to quickly cut off the parts I want in a lighter color and paste them into a separate layer. Ctrl X, Ctrl V, Ctrl D. Thus, we can ensure something close to this. I can already imagine it coming together. I understand it may be hard, but I'm seeing something, I suppose, in a manner of speaking, if nothing else. But what is that particular shade? Or was not the shade at fault? Perhaps, yes, it was not the shade at fault. Quite grand, if I do say so. Now it is, ideally, because it is lighter in color, I would either want to reduce the color, or also likely simply, as they say, add lighting to the underside of that particular bush. I will possibly go for doing both. Possibly. Very strong possibly. Yes. I can see it. I can see it. Right, so that side is temporarily done until I think better of it, which will likely, in all likelihood, be soon. Nonetheless, there is more that we can do. So when things go further back, they tend to take on a blue hue in the wild. Within many artistic styles, it is exaggerated, but nonetheless, it is true and real. If you ever look out into the mountains in the distance, or otherwise a range of some sort, you will see that it is a lighter blue color than perhaps the green that is close to you. That is because of this sky and atmosphere and, well, the general stuff, oxygen gas, whatever. Oxygen itself is colorless. However, I believe there's other gases in the air which are not. Perhaps nitrogen? Possibly not. Nonetheless, there's better things to worry about. See, it's not quite there. Yes, much better. I have to save this color to a palette. So let me further use it. But that's not satisfying at all. Perhaps the shade? Perhaps. Now with that, we may continue up on. Yes, that'll do. That'll do nicely. Except we'll only need to take it away from here so that it doesn't overshadow the tree leaves, I suppose. Yes, not bad. And then as we go further back, I will have to return to the dark purplish color in earnest. Yes. Ideally, we want something maybe a bit darker as the forest grows dark. Yes. Am I not drawing behind them? I am. Then why is it? Oh. Alright. Suppose that's fair. Well, it's not awful as far as things go, I suppose. I would add maybe, yes, small branch here. That'll do. Yes. I should possibly add more branches on the actual tree, well, trunks we have in closer to the foreground, but not entirely certain of how to do that yet. See, if we were to add more bushes here, that would make sense. But I believe there's a way for it to make sense without them as well. Perhaps if we add a bird later, that would do quite nicely. For now, we may pop it in there and just sincerely hope. Now, what else was there in the woods? Just more woods. Truly, I know I've drawn backgrounds a bajillion times, and I do still draw backgrounds now, but such pain. I wonder, was that also part of the aforementioned tree line? Perhaps it was. Well, nonetheless, it is at this point I shall consult my references, for I believe it will not be ethical to just put a singular type of tree in a forest, especially one that's supposed to be dense, so that we can have a clearing on which the horse and the unicorn separately will stand. Thus, it is about here I should probably. But then again, it is also there where the weird stain is. Perhaps it'll add to it, actually. Alright, what's it? Space. Quite lovely. Okay, as such, I'm imagining sort of, if not a birch, then a weeping willow of some sort. It's not the most amazing illustration of such a thing, but as earlier specified, we have to cope. Perhaps I would ideally like for it to be maybe a little bit more natural in some shape, but it is rather difficult to cope with. I'm almost shading it like I would shade hair at this stage, which is quite interesting, at least as far as I'm concerned. It does add a little bit of that glossy weeping feel, I believe. Such is my conviction. No. I hold several questions, most of which I do not want to answer, such as why I would ever think it a good idea to. Oh, good lord. Alright. But that's not how it works. That's not how one of a birch grows at all. That is much closer, but again, we're missing something here. Missing something important. Yes, better. Better, but not quite. Perhaps how the birches grow. It's such a shame. I'll have to search it up, I suppose. A birch, that is what I need a reference for. A birch is my favorite tree. A fun fact, another count. I think everyone should have a favorite tree, honestly. There's so many options. Birch. It's my favorite for two reasons. If it wasn't the birch, it would probably be maybe. Oh, the weeping willow is third on my tree list. Second is this plant called sirene, or if you're speaking in Ukrainian, buzok, which I have no idea of the English name of, but it grows these beautiful purple flowers. Okay, I found references of birches. And the reason that birches are my favorite, apart from their aesthetic appeal, is also that they produce birch juice, which is delightful and tasty. As long as it's done correctly, I believe. I've never tried the Western version of birch juice, I must confess. I know they have like it marketed as some healthy snack of some assortment, but it's, I don't know. It's more like I have no idea. I've never tried it. I've tried like normal birch juice from Ukraine, raw, but like, oh, but why is it so confusingly? It's dizzying to draw. Wait, but I can divide it. Yes, that'll do. That'll do nicely. In which case, the older one can be more of the light blue we're used to, perhaps. Yes. See, it is growing into itself. Isn't that funny? Growing. Nonetheless, shall continue. Yes. Delightful. And over here we can smudge it out because it'll blend into the background. Yes, I will. Alright. As it approximates this point, I should also. to mention the, I don't know, it needs to have some background so that it can feel of substance. I do not, it'll look like lungs no matter what I do with it, but perhaps, I hope the appeal is there for it. We will see how the rest of that drawing goes. Now, with that further inquiry out of the way, attempt once more for the other trees. If we're lucky, the attempt shall be soon. Don't even get me started on bushes. Right. With that in mind, it's that would be grand, but it's not quite. Oh, or is it? I suppose it can be. Yes, and then we would have to add another version behind it. It should be similarly supported, but nonetheless bigger in many ways. And then we can go into over here and perhaps add some more of these lovely tree bushes that are pink. Not too many. There's a strong balance needed. Necessary for this sort of thing. Hopefully I keep this balance as I go through it, but I'm starting to suspect that to not be the case. Yes. That's much better. No, but it looks so much smaller. It's not our appeal at all. Perhaps, no. I regret to inform, but we will have to put a bush in here. Much better. Now, what shall we do with that background of ours? I don't know how I have completely forgone any understanding of layers as I went through this, which normally happens, let's be, like, honest. Ever since I learned the additive method of drawing, I've lost all touch with what layers are for, but a temporary distraction to the final image, I suppose. At least in a way. Oh, and we can add more of the later ones, but only at the very back. This the back? I suppose we'd have to add more and more. Never too many layers to add, is it? We can add bushes now, for which I would go back to perhaps over here, perhaps not. Not ideal. I'd prefer not to disturb these ecosystems. Perhaps a new layer. Yes. And then yes. Not too shabby. The colors are rather chaotic here. I promise it is not because I'm colorblind. Not that there would be much of an issue with that, but simply that this is a creative decision, purposefully done. And by purposefully, I mean it will probably be changed later, honestly. I like the outlook of it, but not enough to like it that severely, I suppose. I'm not against it. I know it's not how trees work, but I'm not against it. This particular thing. I think adding a leaf to it actually helped like quite a lot. Alright, with that, we can move to who knows what, if I'm being honest. Did it come back? Oh, it did. Great. Very good. And over there, which is the least we can do for our tiny little bush at the moment. I will later likely pull my hair out, and at least metaphorically, not physically, at the idea of what I'm doing with these things. But that is a future me problem and not a current me problem. See, that tree branch needs more work. I think we're almost at the point where I'm tempted to merge all of them, simply for the privilege of not having to bother. Right. I want to add a little bit more of these to this particular tree branch. Perhaps, oh yes, that'll do lovely. Yes, that addition to the tree branch is also not bad. I can't wait till I can do proper rendering on all of them to hopefully make them look this way. Much word for hope. To be completely sincere. And nope, in which case I would be adding, no, come back. Damn it. Because at these times where we consider the lag meaningless to some, truly game breaking for others, nonetheless a challenge. Will you fall short, or will you persevere? Which one's the yellow one? This one. Yes. Not quite certain how I feel about that. Perhaps I should go between the two. Well, it looks good on an individual basis. On an overall basis, it is completely lost upon all of us. Perhaps, I shall leave it here for now. Now, with that in mind, I wish to add a few more highlights to this one particular action. I think it has potential. I really, truly do. If one of the lines could be center. Perhaps they could be, but likely not in this timeline. I shall return to that idea in the future, hopefully. Maybe? Not entirely certain. Alright, let's merge all of them, because, let's be honest, we're not going to sort through any of this. Hopefully my laptop can chill out. Probably not, but the hope is nonetheless there. I will include a, what's called, a lavender field here, because lavender has had a symbolism to queer people for a very long time. It was one of the old ways of flagging. And also, there's the root word of a lavender marriage, which is the union between two people of opposite sex or passing as such, wherein they marry legally, but not romantically or for romantic reasons, and pursue their own romantic agendas elsewhere. You know, when a gay man and a gay woman meet each other and decide they can tolerate the notion or have a particular necessity for it. Yes, oh, that's very pretty. So I will be including lavender later. Oh, but I needed to do it on top, that's why it wasn't showing up. Yes, quite neat. Or is it? We're experiencing some difficulty with this bush. Or are we? I've decided to just... No, actually I haven't decided. Let's try something. But not quite. Yes. Yes, and then we go... Let's go over here. Not the best idea, but nonetheless. Yes. Almost. Not quite. Yes. Much better. Yes. I will use a eraser for this, but and that's not the reason I love Clip Studio or Photoshop is this third color, which is the eraser color, I suppose, which makes it just so convenient to draw. Honestly. Yes, I can picture it in a way. Shall I reduce it? That is the question. I'm tempted towards a yes, but it's a temporary answer. And we all know it. Yes, 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 yes. Lovely. I will later have to adjust for glares. Perhaps I can do it now. No, no, I cannot. Or my favorite function here is glow dodge. It could be useful. Not likely though, is it? No, looks horrible. We shall not add any more lighting for a while, I suppose. I will wish to add more pink in the background. Yes, yes I will. It will be this shade, and for that I will use, yes, the oil brush. Yes, and then over here, this is a clipping mask. There's quite a few ways of masking something out within Clip Studio, and this being one of them. Yes, and then I could, right, and then multiply, of course. Actually, I quite like the bright color, but it doesn't fit it, does it? The drawing becomes lopsided. Was it all the way up? Which I should likely reduce it, but I have a contrary idea. Yes. And now we can reduce it. Yes. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. But not quite. Yes, that will do. Or will it? Indeed, indeed. It's not awful, I suppose. It's truly not meant for that. Oh, right. For the bajillionth time. Actually, no. Once again, I fib. We're not trying to go and work on the grass yet, for there is more to be done. I wonder, where's the purple version of this? Yes. Well, it's lighter purple, so it's not ideal. Perhaps I could add a multiplier of some sort. But then again, perhaps not. It's not awful. It's close, but it's not awful yet. I believe it has potential or something. Some version of this in which it makes sense. Is it a version you live with? Likely not, but nonetheless, a version of it shall exist somewhere. If string theory is to be correct. But actually, hasn't that been a bit debunked? I think it's been adjusted. Well, nonetheless, the first hour or so has gone by in a blink. Now we try desperately at grass. I do mean truly desperately. Grass is not, I can't say it's not a strong suit, but it's worse for, it is simply plainly difficult. Not because I have struggled to draw individual blades of it, but simply because it's hard to switch between where the line of detail is. I tend to either go too hard or too soft in attempt. Either way, it ends up like a problem. That's not too bad. There's probably a life lesson here somewhere about not doubting yourself, or perhaps this doubt that has caused this to end up quite nicely, at least within this vague and blurry series. Now I shall return. Yes, not bad. But it is, isn't it? Oh, that's not Yes, yes, good idea. Yes, I have a brain. That brain can be trusted to brain too. Perhaps. But then again, perhaps not. I'm trying to make graphs of, where there's a little gap and you can see the underside of it and the overside of it. There's a gap because they're not connected. But I don't know if it's too much or too little. I'll simply save it, then I'll go back until I haven't made it at all, and paste it again. Not quite certain of which to use. Suppose I'll go with this one for now. If nothing else, it will be of interest. Something horrible is going on here, isn't it? We know exactly why, but wait, no. This is a grand of it. God. Curse you. For those of you unaware of what happened, I did not draw that line across the landscape. That it seemed to have implied I did. Beautiful. That practice with the drawing tablet really paid off. Being able to draw without having to see where you're drawing is quite nice. I think it should be a special skill now. I don't think it's common anyway. But perhaps I'm thinking too highly of myself. Yeah, no. The blades of grass are too... no. Right. And back to it. We will add lavender soonish. Actually, this is going much faster than I have anticipated, I must say. I was really worried it will take me hours upon hours, but it appears to not be so. Isn't it delightful? Something about this level of detail annoys me. No, no, yes. Yes, indeed. Oh, and then I can add more layer. I think this coming together. I think it is. Oh, simply have to do a lot more later, so there's certain points I know where I will have to change contrast and silhouette. And that's not even mentioning just the details of it all, but the details of it all is the part I'm the most looking forward to, so I suppose it is to be expected. Yes, 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 yes. Not bad. I'm trying to do this sort of as a shadow thing. Now is the time for my trusty, truly trusty, yes, pencil brush. No, yes, yes, and then we reduce the size to continue this work over here. Reduce it further. And at approximately this point, one would be able to draw individual blades of grass and should take advantage of such an opportunity. I'm not quite certain, so it is quite a necessity. No, not quite certain at all. No, the level of detail is too at odds with itself. As much as it's very tempting to draw something here, it's not a good idea. I will leave it as this for now. Simply for lack of anything better to think of. I'll try adding a few more blades here and hoping that they work out. Yes, it does appear to be working, at least in some amount. Because here they should probably eyedropper through a lighter green shade that actually works and isn't as bright as the highlight. I wouldn't say it's a bad choice, but I wouldn't not say that either. What an oxymoron. Good lord, I'm using so many words today. It's just normal, so isn't it? Strange words. Thus, we shall. It's not at this point that I wish to add the horses. The horses should be added last. But it is at this point that I shall consider it. And likewise, look into. Yes, I will. Huh. And there's a painting of the lavender and such. Once again, we will merge all the layers because I trust myself a lot. I'll probably have to use the whatever tool this is later. But it would be better not to merge it with the background quite completely, but then again, I'm quite at odds, very conflicted at the moment. On one hand, I should merge it with the background, but on the other hand, it'll stop me from being able to single it out. I'll do this thing where I don't merge it with the background, I believe. Right, so when Control Z back, we wait for an approximate amount, not so like that, we merge. Beautiful, wonderful. Alright, with that in mind, I'm looking at it now, and partially it kind of looks, let's say, bad, but I know what the problem is. As much as I hate to admit it, I will at least attempt to fix it. So, Control G for group, Control C, Control V for sizing, Control T, hold Alt and Shift to make sure it sizes itself to the middle. And right, with such a possibility, we would that make it better? I think it might, but no, it wouldn't. I mean, it would make it only further away, but that doesn't really do anything for us. Yes, we have to go back to the way things are. Now, if only it will load. There is something I'm not yet certain of, which is what step to take next. Well, nonetheless, we should try going with the lavender. Not satisfying at all. Yes. Lavender fields. Doing grand. Always loved. No. What do you mean I just Control Z on accident? Oh, it was gone? It's horrible. Damn it. I don't recall where it was. Right, let's see. In which case this would have to be that way. We would have to pray it works. And this one would probably be a darker color eventually. Perhaps even now. Although I'm not quite feeling it, if I'm being completely honest with you. Nonetheless, it's good to outline it. Yes. I will likely use the new lens flare on it later, so that it seamlessly blurs in with itself. Also because it's not the main subject of the actual painting once we're done with it. Is at this point that one might ask themselves, so about that level of detail, and I have no answer for you at all. I genuinely have no idea. I, 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 I have no idea. I genuinely don't. Although I could try going with a yes, that'll do it. That'll do nicely. What I'm trying to do here is an eye guiding technique of sorts, which will make the scene hopefully feel more alive because there's a sort of direction to the flowers themselves. I put more bigger ones in the background of where the sun isn't actively shining. And I would love to tell you for what reason that is, but I have none other than my chica tells me so. I suppose we'll have to see it and hope that it actually turns out well. It's not the worst. Yes. Now I know that technically speaking, lavender is probably a little less like this. It really depends on the breed of lavender, actually. So I suppose I have nothing to apologize for. I'm entirely correct and fair and just. And did I mention fair and just? Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Mm-hmm. Now, I wonder if I should leave the lavender to only one side, or if, in fact, all sides should contain it. I'm tempted to do it so that it's only on one side, if I must be truthful. I do not know why yet, but I think having it guided with the sun really adds it, and I think that'll do something for a message of some kind. I'm pretty hard to this lesbian horse thing, huh? And then we could probably sprinkle some here and there. It's like a little hint, perhaps. I can see the painting in my vision when I blur it bad. But it is not enough. And thus we're now at an impasse. What shall I do? There is something to be said about the layer itself. The shading electoral. Yes, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of like Barbie and the Swan. Or like any other one with a Barbie movie. Really, really do, especially like this area, I suppose. If you can see my cursor, which honestly you can't because it's not moving. This area over there. It really does. Alright. We have our lavender. We have. Fuck knows. I'm gonna make sure the lavender itself will not be merged on accident because that would be horrible. Now we will control C. We will go here. We will control B. At which point we're going to filter, blur, and lens blur. Lens blur is the one. No, not good. And the strength is too high. What is highlight intensity? I still don't understand how this works, I must confess. I genuinely do not. Well, nonetheless. I don't think that's a bad choice. Because see how it's like normally as this, and then now it looks ethereal. I would personally move it though. And possibly, so this over here is what we call layer mask, which is separate from, well, clipping mask. And in it, you can erase parts of itself to make sure that it's it'll be easier if I just show you honestly. So, for example, let's take all these away so you can see clearly. If I do this, they're gone. But as soon as I put more color on it, they will return, which is grand. So it's a very non-destructive way of working. Come back. Okay, great. Mm. Now, you know what? I need to reduce the lens size. No, bad. Come back. Flare is necessary over there. Now we wait for it to wake up and decide what it is doing with its life. With this idea in mind, I understand you all are not seeing it very big picture of it, honestly. Um, so zoom in on some of the details real quick so you can see what's going on. This is quite nice. This is also quite neat. Um, really subpar trees, as you can see. Trees. I have very good eyesight, so I usually don't. Also, it helps to be zoomed out when you're doing drawings to make sure you're not stuck being a perfectionist. At least as far as plants go. So, nice, nice, nice. Hence why I keep it as such a small drawing, so they can maybe approximate it at least a little bit. With that in mind, oh wait, no, actually, hold on. Where's that? Yes, yes, come here, come here. I'm not dissatisfied with it. I think I'll end up doing something with it. Oh, good lord. Reduce yourself. Why is that considered a singular brush stroke? Do you have a stroke? Is that what we're experiencing here? And then we'll go over here, we'll go on probably overlay. Yes, not bad at all. I would love to tell you more about what it is I'm doing, but honestly, I have very little clue in a way. I know that I'm adding green because it's leaves, and I know that I'm making it lighter so that it matches the lighter tone of the background. But overall, there's a bit of a mess, as you can agree at the moment. With that in mind, more trees. Yes, 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 indeed. Now it is almost time to figure out what we're actually doing with some of the lighting. Almost. Something is saving it, luckily, for now. For now. It's not bad, but it's kind of as bad, actually. Not the kind of look you want your trees to do you. Unless you do. In this case, well, I'm not judging your trees, I'm merely judging mine. Now we wait for it to wake up and switch to the 60 pixel size. Lovely. So many questions, so little answers. No, I couldn't erase that. I guess we have to come back. Oh, wait, no, I actually could. Crazy. At which point I'd highlight it over here, and I would have to reduce the brush size in order to ensure its consistency and integrity, right? What I'm doing here is a backlight on the bush. It is, as some would notice, a bit subpar, but that is not its main point. You can always improve something later. At least an additive version of this workflow. And then I could try going for something like this. At which point I would employ the wonderful round brush And then we can, which is, no, this button over here is for reducing it right. That's not too bad. We can even go for one of these. Not for too long though. I will have to return to ensure, not quite. No. I know it's tempting to make a shadow there, but it's really unbecoming. Not bad, because there is already a bit of a shadow here, so it's honestly not a bad idea. I will, well, the adding of the, yes, if I add it to the grass directly, it'll do a much better job. All it's missing is the line from the stem, and then it'll fit right in the moment it can figure itself out. Yes, not bad. Not bad. And then we can probably go here, and if we zoom in, we could be a bit more precise with it. No, not the worst radius. We're currently, dear viewer, waiting to zoom back out. Possibly also waiting for literally any part of this to work. If you were drawing along with me, I advise you to also save your drawings. I have saved a couple times already, sometimes on purpose and sometimes an accident. I will, okay, now is the time for lighting. Now is lighting time. In which case I should sample this over here, and then for the actual color of the light, I'm gonna go over here. We will have to add some more yellow simply because we need to add more green. I don't have much faith in it, but no, it does not. Unless, where's my glow dots? Yes, not the worst. Right. I will possibly use my trim gouache again. No, too big. Yes, I should do much nicer. And I'll come back at it with the textured pencil brush. Yes, indeed. Right. It would also be ideal if I could, well, actually use any of the colors that I employ here. Ah, that's nice. That's nice a lot. Where was this? Right, of course. Not quite. It's turning out quite nicely if I do say so myself. Which exactly, I think decides to bug out. Yes. Perhaps I shall do it again. The drawing stream, I mean. The bugging doesn't seem to actually stop me, so for now. Actually, at exactly this moment, it has entirely stopped responding. So we hope, for the most part. I wish at times I had my PC back, simply so that you could see me shake my head. Any moment now, it will wake up. Why are you awake and not saved? Ah, that's why. And do we wait? No, we're done. We're done waiting. Same everything. Not bad. What is the... Oh, that's why. Not good enough. Next point. Right. We're better off. Not entirely certain. I'm trying to look at it this way and that, and maybe if I put my face right next to it. God, we're already at that hour of the night. No, you know what? I believe in myself. And I believe in my power. No, come back. In my power to actually understand what's going on and do it. If you ask me why I did that, I have no answer for you, but all I know is that it will not work without this. So, not the worst, not the worst. But close second, I presume. No, is it? God, I might have to take a break soon simply because, well, I don't know what's going on. You might be sitting there wondering, it's your drawing, how do you not know what's going on? Until now, it's been working out. All the weird things you've been doing was barely a plan from the viewer's perspective, nonetheless. But, 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 but. Now it's the detailing part, isn't it? And the worst part is that after I detail, I'll have to still change everything. I really will. Right. Probably not the smartest of moves in that one, but we'll see how it turns out. How it doesn't turn out. Well, that's correct. We didn't want it to do so anyway. Right. I feel like that. No. Bad decision. I don't know what my train of thought was, but nonetheless. No, actually, it's on a separate layer, so free game for everything. Yes, not bad at all, fortunately. That's very bad shading. Much better. Whatever that was not deserving of. Ideally, what one would do in that particular situation, simply add that a little bit over here, a little bit over there. With that point, yes, and yeah, and the general lighting. Because again, the lighting is coming from here. Any lighting these trees are getting is coming back from over here. The more you know. Please erase itself. Yay! Nice grand. Yes. But also not entirely. We will have to erase it and blur it. Because exactly why this airbrush tool is so great. Because it just blurs and mixes things. It's not only useful as shading, but also it's just like a very tidy blur. Without having to use the blur tool, it's more of a handheld one. But I forgot to erase. Which, at this point, we would take this. No. Take this. Control X, Control V, reduce further. Yes. easy as pie. I wonder if pi in that expression refers to the pi as in mass or the pi as in well, a pi, I suppose. Yes. What I'm currently doing, other than some backlighting, is also adding directional light. Oh, it'll have to do. It really will have to do. Where is that layer with all the good stuff? Ah, there it is. Hmm. Probably one of the worst decisions so far on its own, but luckily we can simply take it out of the previous layer and then play around with it. I suggest overlay. Yes, and I am once again correct. I will have to erase it though, because I do not like the particular way it is laying. And then I will be able to put it on properly. Ah, that's way too huge. Yes, better. Not bad. It is a little bright though, and it is a problem. Some variety. It's bad, but it's not. It's, see, without it, was it? Yeah, it's doing it. I don't know if it's actually visible to you guys. I'll zoom in. Welcome. I know it kind of looks like a stick figure. We ignore that aspect. Without was I know. All right. Uh, soon is break time. Soon, very soon. Actually, I want a little snack. So I'd say break time would be best suited for now. We shall return in about 10 to 15 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a plan. Okay, what I'm going to do outside of wishing that this works out, which it will because I'm amazing and it has never failed me ever, um, which I do unfortunately mean dead ass. I do not make work I'm not proud of, and if I'm not lucky enough to do a good job, I will simply do better with it. Mm, all right. Uh, what is this? Oh, it's I don't know. Now, the greatest feat yet that my laptop will have to handle. A brush the size of New York. I'm really underestimating the size of New York in this one. But it is New York, so it's fine. Okay, we will go with. No, yes, this one. Yes, 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 yes. After which point, I will wait until it acclimatizes to the color. What we're doing here is a wash. At least it is what I call it. And it will work, because I said so. And when have I ever been wrong? Maybe I will be wrong. Who knows? Not yet proven otherwise, because. Yes, 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 yep, Sorry. I'm sorry. I suppose I should apologize more in the sudden laughter than I should for anything else. Uh, Perhaps now the problem is. Problem? We have no problems. There's only joy in this town. Hell yeah. Oh, lovely. Now, I could play around with levels on it as well. I really should have done the detailing first before I decided to fuck around with everything else, shouldn't I? But in my defense, it's better to get the broad idea correct than it is to focus on the mild details a lot of the time. Which is why my drawings end up not as detailed looking as I'd like, I suppose. But we cope. The question is, right, okay, so first we go into layers, and we go into correction layer and gradient map, because that cannot ever go wrong. Yes. See, I'm really doing a pretty dang bang up job of like making sure the lighting is on its correct spots. No, no. I would have to do something else. No. I just forgot why I was bringing this up entirely. I think it's because I originally wanted to adjust the levels. I did want to do it, didn't I? Oh god, have I killed my laptop? No, I haven't. Aha. Layer, correction layer. But this time, situation listening. No, this. I could. I mean, I could. Let's try that, I suppose. Welcome. So we want luminosity to be down, right? Saturation to be. Actually, not the mode, I guess. Saturation is just fine. Hue. It's quite fun, isn't it? I don't want to touch hue, actually. Okay, and then delightful, delightful, delightful thing over here, known as the layer mask. No, too big, too big, too big. Reduce and spell, because unfortunately that's not how it works. Next point, we would go with that, and then we'd go back, and we'd fix this shit not actually working. Fix that one. Aha. That work. Before. After. It does, but not in the ways I want. And we'll go into the detailing for now, and then we'll figure everything out afterwards. Okay, so this is normal. I am going to go and merge all of this again because I cannot stand it. And neither can the laptop, I think. If we ought to be honest, which we ought. Ought is another word for have to, I suppose. I use a lot of odd words, and the propensity for using them rises as I just start. I'm not sure actually. In general, I tend to switch to the older version of English the more anxious I am, but outside of that, I also just really like speaking in this manner. I find it, or at least I used to find it quite funny. Now I just find it accurate. Um, but before that, it's obviously because I'm ancient, and this is my first language as far as English is concerned. The ancient and the old, and that hmm, which is. Mm-hmm. Ideally, we'd want to reduce it, maybe went to a 17, but then we'd have to just switch back to over here. It's not working particularly well within that setting, unless, yes, right, not the worst. Then we can adjust it, or at least in theory should be able to. I think it's working out quite well. Good, goody, goody, good. When will it fix itself back? Now over here, yes, 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 yes. Yes, and then it is at precisely this point where we can add a darker tone. Or can we? I wasn't imagining using it, but I suppose there's some difficulty. I will actually. Oh god. I wish you could just like delete Microsoft sometimes. Hold my word, I will switch to Linux. I will do it. But that date's not today. It's kind of like a break in the what's it called trunk. See? Oh wait, this could be like a cut-off branch that's like holding on for dear life. That's why I would want that. I just think it's creative and interesting. I don't know if that was added what I wanted to. I don't think it did actually. Okay, now let's return. Dear, dear beloved eyedropper tool. No matter where I go, you're there. Support me. Help me out. What's the side of this 10? Just about, okay. It should be capable of doing this. I find it really interesting that because the feedback on my tablet at the moment, because my PC, you know, also known as shitty laptop that is currently trying to emulate a jet engine, is bugging really badly. But you guys can't see just how much later it actually shows up than when I'm drawing it. It doesn't help that the screen's a little behind either. So I just find that very funny. Because like by the time I've finished the sentence, I've probably finished the drawing of it, but the cursor is not moving while I'm doing so, because it's still syncing and trying to do whatever it does. Please be normal, please don't draw, please be normal, please don't draw, please be normal. Please. Okay. It's kind of like, oh wait, what's this? Ground mixing brush. No. Alright, there are some age-old brushes, like the G-Pen, which is just like a very normal brush. But on occasion, we shall use that also. This brush is a default. If it shows up, it shows up, and if it doesn't, well, I guess it doesn't. There we go. See, it's you know, no blur, no nothing. Um, yes for pen pressure, and on occasion. Uh, the one good thing is that the pen pressure on this thing is pretty gentle, and the good. Actually, hold on. This could be an aid to us. Nope, it isn't. And the other is that because it has zero blur in it, we generally speaking can rely to draw a line in a color without mixing with the color underneath and becoming lighter or darker, I suppose in this case. When will it wake up? Okay, there we go. Awake. Honestly, I should be thankful to it for already doing so much better than initially. Bring me there. Yes, yes. It's pretty good that it actually shows up on my tablet what hotkeys I'm pressing. These are my tablet hotkeys, as you can see, so that's why they show up. I wish my other hotkeys also showed up that I use. Like I'll use Control D for taking out away a loop mask, like these things. In order to unselect it, you got Control D and it'll do it. And other things like that. I use Control Z and Control Shift Z, but that's wired to my pen and does not show up. And yeah, please let me zoom out. This might take us a hot second, and this is the pace at which every detail is going to go. Please be normal, and okay, it's not. When it draws random lines like this, it's usually because I'm trying to move along the canvas using my hotkeys, but it's not awake enough to do so, I suppose. Oh, yes, that is turning out lovely. If we just use this on a very small setting, no, I don't dare say, actually. I suck. Yes, yes, yes. Now that is better. Next is to even out this portion, which I suspect I will have to eyedropper the proper color of. Wonderful. I could be drawing all of this with my textured brush, but alas, for whatever reason I'm using this one. On one hand, I like the color variation of this, right? I think I'm gonna be better off this way, actually. It's unfortunate, because, like, everyone wants the drawing to succeed in a very perfect way, but perfect is often a detriment. Like in this case, color variation adds quite a lot, and without color variation, it looks odd. As far as nature is concerned, it's not often that we use, well, things that are exactly the same color all the way through. Even skin is spotchy, let alone tree bark. It's already idealized as it is. It'll only hurt it to do so further. No, too bright. And we wait. Right. Remind me why I have soy pen? Because it's a good brush, that's all. Well, nonetheless, it's particularly useful at the moment. I wonder. I could probably apply some more shade onto that tree, but I'm not sure it necessitates it. Maybe? Perhaps? It doesn't hurt to try. Right. Go over here. At which point, I suppose I'd have to use this one, wouldn't I? Please work out normal. Yes. And we go into, I don't know, multiply maybe?
on one hand, adding more shading would be good for it. Good lord. Get a grip, will you? On the other hand, let's use this one. Not awful. Also, the opinion is limited. I just prefer it actually. There's a harsh lighting, I think. Well, harsh lighting it remains. Not the most amazing, but we shall deal with it. Just as estimated. Except for the part where I did not estimate my lack of drawing ability. Well, due to not having selected the actual brush. Yes, yes. How does that look on my tiny screen? I don't think it's bad. Yes, 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 yes. Now, here we have some points. Does that benefit or take away? I can't tell. I still can't tell. It's too difficult to know. Is this it? I do not like horses enough for this. This might be good for me though, having VGen at all if I make it. Which is a strong if, after all. No, come back. No. Or that branch is driving me insane. I shall not settle for it. What am I to do is in its confines? It's not really a good color. We grab this, we do this, move it a little, right? Specifically in the opposite direction of where the light is. So our light is more towards red, so we go more towards purple where the shade is. Our shade tends to be more blue. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have the truly delightful opportunity of seeing it in action. The oil brush. Everybody, the oil brush. Alright. I'm not quite certain what to do with that. Grand. Then we can do the same situation here. Oh, please, please be normal. I know you're out of saving, but it's stressful. Hello? Oh, right, I don't have the correct color. Oh. Right. And as far as this is concerned, we should probably also distributed a little. Damn it. That was much more than a little. Now, is that better? Oh, good lord, why is this so difficult sometimes? Oh, you can see like the nice side, the beautiful horsey side, and then the bush on the other side of the painting, which is giving the left side of the painting a lot of credit, if I'm going to be honest. Oh. No, it's time to draw horses. I'm done with this. Or am I? Give me like a minute. I know I am, but you know. Except the part where Liz is actually. Come back. Where's the selection? Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Better, I guess. I would press and try to ignore it. Control X, Control V, Control T. Reduce. Recycle. Not too bad. Not too shabby. Could be worse. That bush in the middle annoys me. Well, time for the horses. By which I mean I have to search up how horses look like. That's great. I will be using silhouettes though, so at least it won't be awful. Horse. Horse. I had a couple of references for. I have saved so many horse memes, oh my lord. They're very funny, in my defense. Oh, I could have been drawing a horse in action. Why didn't I think of that? Oh well. Probably better for me, honestly. Let's be real here. Oh, wish me luck. I'm gonna need a lot of it, considering the like cooldown time of this thing. So, okay. We can safely assume this. We could, what does that, right. Ears, ears. Yes, yes. I can assume that. Now, a horse usually, right. But its main, okay. And at this point, I should probably rotate it. Right, not too bad. Now, oh, drawing horses is stressful, isn't it? And this main part goes to over here. There's a small ridge at approximately this point. Oh, Lord. At which point the. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, well. No, we'll hope that works out. What's it about there? Maybe. Oh, God, I imagine someone. I know there's a lot of people who are into horses, but I also know there's like horse, like vets and whatnot, and people with their show horses. I wonder if it'll probably look much more out of proportion to them than it would to me. At which point, I can't tell. What's, right. Yes. Not, as far as I'm concerned, it's looking good. Which isn't much, let's be honest. Right. Touch point. And then, oh, it's so weird that horses technically walk on their nails. That's what hooves are. Isn't it weird? I wonder if I do this if I'll stylize it better. And 10 points to stabilization. Now, horses do have this look as if they have ate a toddler. No, come back! Oh, thank God. Jesus. That was terrifying. I barely got any of this covered, let alone. Oh, God. That horse is not proportional at all. I don't feel about it yet. It cannot be above this line. It has to be below it. And I will move it later. Okay? I will move the backside later. I don't know. Horses are horses. I don't know. Odd animals, in any case. Yep, it's turned this way. Don't worry about it. It's not that the horse proportions are absolutely horrible. It's simply that it's turned this way. Don't worry about it. Yes. It wouldn't be turned this way. I don't know why I'm acting this way anyway. Unless I turn it that way. It's not good to try new perspective animals you don't normally draw. And please don't do as I do. Lord. It's the horse, right? That's what a horse looks like. Okay. On one hand, the back is long, on the other hand, it's not long enough. I will be moving it back. I cannot stand it. Let's hope this will do the trick. How good is the horse? My horse is pretty bad. Well, what a bad month to choose to join VGen, isn't it? If your horse is equally bad as mine, let's be honest, it's not nearly as likely if you're doing this. But I can't keep waiting on a time where I am prepared and just so happen to be drawing the same thing as the, list. So choose not to. I will also connect it to a unicorn later, but that day is not today. Oh my lord, is that normal? I could actually make it like a drippy, cool horse with the the what's it called? The socks, because they have those sometimes. All right, welcome to Drippy Horse. You have socks now. I should probably, ideally, at least examine the idea of shading it at the moment, but I'm already having enough time as it is. Oh, is the neck too long? No, it's a horse. The neck can't be too long. What am I talking about? Something looks this way because hair, probably. Horses have hair, so something like that. Is that horse good enough or what? I had saved somewhere of how to actually draw horses, but alas, that save has been lost to me at the moment. At least I haven't brought it up nonetheless. I think, okay, because the leg is behind, this one should be more forward. Honestly, good enough to me. That's the general vibe of their deal. Where is that rectangular tool? Indeed. Uh, mhm. Now, if we draw, hypothetically, yes, good. And I would have to put it under the horse, which is here, and it would have to be whatever shade that is. I'm not against crayon, honestly. Yep, pretty happy with that. Or am I? No, come back. Yep. I will simply have to draw a unicorn afterwards for it also. I could try shading it now. Oh, I really do not want to do that though. Hello, horse. Your situation could be a lot worse. Perhaps you could be hoarse if you lost your voice. Oh my lord, come back. I love when the horses have these like patterns on them. That's my favorite part about a horse, I think, at any given point. Or they have the star in their head, it's quite neat. Hmm, delightful. I will adjust the hair texture later. Yep, that's what a mane looks like. You heard it here, folks. Hmm. Hmm. No. Yes, yes, yes. It's not like a bad horse so far. Strangely enough, I was really expecting it to be more like of an issue. Glow dog. Yes. Everything's lovely. What does horse patterns look like? Okay, they tend to have some variation in them, it appears. I will have to use this one for a little bit. Yes, and then I know this is not a common horse pattern, perhaps, but we'll deal with that when we come to it. What? Why is my color off? If only I could add some more color glitter into this. Ah, the horse coat is really annoying me. If I'm not proud of it afterwards, it would be such a shame. Alright, it's time to whip out the big guns, also known as shading. I hope you understand how unfortunate this is for me. It's not particularly easy to do in general. And then we could but that's not how that works, is it? Yeah, a little better. Still marginally better. No, bad. Oh, right. God, never make me draw a horse. Who thought this was a grand idea? It is. You need to have variety for a variety of things, but nonetheless. Alright, also, horses tend to have shiny coats, so that is quite convenient for this particular stage. Right, at which point. I think it's not too bad. Good old horses in it. I'm trying not to zoom in too hard so they don't realize just how bad it is. That, unfortunately, is, isn't it? Yes. Not the worst, as far as I'm concerned. At which point, you'd be better off doing this. that is wrong. In which case, I suppose it is closer to the truth. Hmm. Hmm. Not quite. I'm a little scared, honestly. These horses aren't scary, but it's a narrow line. What is that? The way that they triangulate their face is quite interesting to me. That's not too bad, I suppose. And the ears themselves are a bit of an issue, though, aren't they? Oh, thank God for the airbrush. Or the inventor of it. That looks pretty good. Sounds good to me. Hmm. Hanging out, why not? Horseless horse. Hmm. The wood is now subpar, though. I'm probably going to end up blurring everything so that it looks fine. Well, such is the way. Now is a good time to draw the unicorn also. It's been grand to have them hugging, but I don't know if I can do that. I'm going to do this wonderful thing, which you should never do. What is this? Oh, merge selected layers. Forget this. Filter, blur, inward, no, outward. How are we feeling about that? Mm, what is the spin blur? Oh, don't do what I'm doing, kids. Don't ever do it. Or do it. Look at that. That's beautiful. The colors are popping. But also never do that. Actually, it's not a good idea. Don't do it. Do not do what I do. You will not like it. I was trying to like draw that rainbow on. Not to mention a couple other aspects of it. Ah, I will be right back. Hello. So on that account, being good at drawing is very difficult, guys. So it takes a lot of time to master. And then it takes a lot of mental health work in order to make sure you actually feel it. But nonetheless. I love that overlay, I really do. It's like gray and then colorful. And the horse really stands out on the background really well. I think it'll do as well later. I will mark it as orange. Just to say it can be deleted but shouldn't be. Uh-huh. Now back to... Well, I will not call it prison. But rendering kind of feels like that sometimes. Oh, my lord, delete the previous bad stroke, please. I'll come back. Okay, I'm gonna have to like put the horse and its derivatives into timeout. Let's say I will delete it temporarily. Or like make it translucent so they can see behind it. Alright, where's our stuff? Oh, over here. Right. Okay. Unless a color that shows up, yes it does. Might as well keep it. Now what color is that? Because I can't tell. I'm nearing that point in my process where I would usually go away and not touch it for like a couple weeks. And then quickly finish it in one afternoon if I come back to it. But we are not doing that today, because if I don't do it today, I probably won't finish this, like ever. Oh, it's so beautiful. Hold on. Oh my god. I'll come back. That was brush type 30. Uh-huh. Right. I don't know, that's the particular branch type for this thing. Ah, but it also won't matter because it's behind the horse. Indeed. How lovely. How truly astute. Astute in this case would be wrong, but nonetheless. As such, it is indeed. Okay, can you cooperate, please? Thank you. Appreciate it. That is the save button. It was right. All right, back to whatever it is that I was attempting to. Oh, yes, it does work. Sync of everything. Yes, 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 yes. At which exact point it would point out, yes, exactly that. Yes, yes, yes. Doing so well. Now, if we add a little bit of like, I don't think it's so much natural color in it. Like, oh yeah, actually, out of context kind of looks accurate, which is great because it isn't. if I hypothetically manage to draw a couple, yes, the branches are doing well. Except for that one. That one's doing horribly. I think I'll add a contrast to it at some point. Perhaps now. Oh, why is it in a rectangle? Oh, because I was using a rectangle last time, right? And then we go here, we go and use the tool of, where do we go? Ah, there. Not too bad. Some could call it shabby, but, well, I wonder where, okay, so it just randomly popped out. Great. Good to know. Huh. What shall I add? Uh-huh. Yes, it almost looks like the full own top of the bush underneath. Looks pretty good. I'm worried all this detail will actually do us harm rather than good. Not entirely certain how I feel about that yet. No, it won't. Still, it's there's a lackluster one, isn't it? Something about it isn't quite right. We're not quite certain of what yet. I would add a backlight, but I think that would clash. Or would it? Right, let's attempt. Now let's go over here with the oil paintbrush. Finishing so far, it's doing good. Not bad. Not the best, but I suppose it could be worse. Not that that particular thing is on too much comfort. When will it switch to the colorless one? When will it do that? Right. What's this? Can do that. But also a bit of blue is a necessity, I fear. Wait a sec now. And we'll add another light underneath. Perhaps. What kind? It needs to be in this area, right? But I don't quite... Oh, wait, hold on. Not deep enough. Where's... No. No, not quite. Hmm. I will attempt to look at some bushes, I believe. And just generally to look around and see what I might be missing. I suppose there's simpler ways of drawing whatever it is I'm drawing. Hmm. It will have to be blue. It will have to be bright blue too. Mm-hmm. Could be arguably worse. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I like the color variation on it, but it's missing something about itself. Hmm. Ah, yes, but the bulbous form of them needs to be defined. Mm-hmm. And then we can kind of. Mm-hmm. Not the worst paint job. Right. Is it defined? Okay. This is where an oil brush would typically come in. Mm, don't like it. Something wrong. You can feel it. Too round, not texture enough. How do we fix this? Mm. Oh, indeed. Mm, no. Mm, closer. No. Wrong again. Something is wrong. But what? Much better. But not quite there. I believe I have a simple or simpler leaves brush, yes. Uh-huh. Well, at times you need to do such sort of thing. It's good for color variation, believe it or not. Also, I'm pretty sure it takes from the color underneath a little bit, which is also good. Hmm, not satisfied with that sound, not at all. Hmm. Hmm. It could be worse, I remind myself. It could be worse. It's reaching that middle ugly duckling stage of the drawing. Hmm. Not quite. Hmm. No, not at all. Well, I suppose if nothing else, we can simply finish it and then blur the entire thing as always. Hmm. Now, with that out of the way, a few very small choices will have to be made within the bounds of this particular forest. Right, that one, last one, will have to be cut down. Not too bad. Hmm. Hmm. Not perfect, but we'll get started. At least such is my belief. Mhm. Oh, actually, at this point, we could try giving this thing some leaves. If we figured out how. Hmm. I don't think it's a bad idea, weirdly enough. Even though it definitely is. Hmm. Well, such is it. Violence, violence is the rule of the beasts. Set Barack Obama in a dream. It's not awful, actually. Believe it or not. Possibly not, because that statement remains not entirely correct, does it? Still, it certainly helps. Right. Well, for background, hmm, I wouldn't. Would I? I would. Filter, blur. I think a strong blur should do it. Yes, it did. It did what I needed it to. There we go. Now it looks more consistent. I believe here I would probably have to like. Mm, mhm, hmm. What do you think? Bad or good enough? I reckon good enough because then I can add other things going around it as we go forward. Now it is time for the rainbow. No, no, where's, there we go, ellipse. We would want it to be at least that big, I suppose. Now, we go like this, and then we go and we do it by like 10, right? I say that's good enough, and we should keep it. It's not, we need a 20. Oh well. Yellow. And then again for green. Well, this is close to braided green as we get. And then again for blue. Actually, I think we should go with two colors for this. One's for 10 for light blue. Not quite. There we go. Much better. For dark blue. And then once more for purple. Do I even have purple in here? I do. I don't think it's that purple. Oh well. No, glow dodge is not the way. No. I mean, not really. Oops. I'm gonna go and think about rainbows, probably. Filter, blur, let's blur. Yes. Already an improvement. No. No. Also not, unless you want to like, lighten is pretty good. Screen. I think lighten is better. Yeah, that's not bad. Hmm. God, is that too bright and poppy? Did I ruin it? I did, didn't I? Hmm. 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 So I've been cheating all of this for nothing this entire time? Oh. Hmm. Okay, time to draw horse number 2. For which I'll be using my unicorn references. I'm still so unhappy with this. I'm gonna have to redraw the entire background thing, aren't I? I'll just try to remember to do it. I'm currently looking through, what's it called? Currently looking through references. That's what I'm doing. Ooh, pretty. Not quite it. I will find a horse. Mark my words. Horse located. No, actually, I'm not doing it there. Really? That counted as one stroke? It was in fact not that. I can promise you so. I give up on the horn for now. Later it is. No. No, no, no. Bad legs. This almost looks like a dog, actually. It's probably not good. Why do I have this temptation to just draw over the first horse and maybe fuck around with its proportions until I eventually get a unicorn? Back to reference as we go. Or do we? The idea is of a more cartoonish horse, in a way. So, hmm. I don't hate horses, but they're a bit, their own thing. No. Oh, it's like a pack horse. I love pack horses. They're so cute. Or the horses from like Centaur World or whatever. Oh wait, actually, I can just make it cute now, can't I? Yes. Not entirely certain. Huh. I would have to make it taller regardless, so I could try moving the whole thing. Indeed. How does their back legs work again? And their front legs? I think I'm messing it up. Definitely am. Is it a horse? Only conjecturally. It's not a horse, is it? Not at all. Hmm. Hmm. If it is about that, then I could try doing this in order to elicit a more elegant appearance. Yes, and the fact that reminds me a little bit of a deer, I think, also helps. Mm. Perhaps I should look more at deers and horses at this point. Deer. Deer, deer, deer. Yes. much more graceful in appearance. Hmm. Nope. At any point, it'll start feeling a little bit better. Mm-hmm. No, not quite. But it's a strong part of it, isn't it? Mm, not quite. I think from this stand, we can assume that the leg is being folded up. Or can we? Hmm. A question for the ages, as it would seem. Question for the ages. Hmm. Hmm. Where's I? Hmm. Hmm. Ah, I found something. Mm-hmm. In which case, since to start about, but I guess to start here. No, maybe here. Mm. We can do it up to here and then up to. Perhaps no, absolutely not. In that case, it should mean something along the lines of this. No, entirely incorrect. Hmm. No. I'm not certain on how this back leg should go. I know well enough it shouldn't be just plain, but outside of that, I don't really know what's going on. Or should it maybe be plain? Perhaps that is the way it should go. I'm not certain. Not sure. Hmm. Let's try this. This is the life of those who hate the Beatles. I don't know if you guys have seen the meme, but the joke was that Junji Ito loves the Beatles. It's his favorite band, I think. And Hayao Miyazaki, Hayao Miyazaki does not like the Beatles. He fucking hates them. His words. And as such, there was this meme of the world if you love the Beatles, and the world if you hate the Beatles. That being said, it was, of course, inaccurate because Junji is generally a happy guy, and Miyazaki less so. But if we take it at that, then I suppose makers can be made. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Look, I know this horse is maybe a bit of a pygmy in every way. That's okay. There's short people and short horses out there, and that's fine. Or at least should be fine. Absolutely not. Hmm. Huh. Something's wrong. They're not centered. But they seem centered. It's because the other one is shorter, isn't it? Shall I move all of them then? Or shall I just move the horses? Should also be moved a little bit, I suppose. I will try to take the shape, and not sure what I'll do with that, but maybe color it green, I don't know. Not bad, I guess. Making it like stand out a bit. Hmm. Hmm. It's so sloppy. Kind of makes me upset, actually. Hmm. They're not bad, I think. Hmm. Indeed. I wonder if I could take, like, all of these and also put them into a layer and then do all of that other stuff with it. Please don't crash. That is all I ask. Okay, merge selected layers. Now we're going to filter. Which blur did we use last time? I genuinely don't remember. Did lens blur for a bit? I think it might be, maybe. And filter again because we have discovered the spin blur. That was apparently very fun. I do like the more outside watching ones, but I'm not quite certain. I think a part of it would be better. Which are we tempting? I have no idea. And then that was on overlay. I believe there's a radial thing to be done here so that we can have like a point of focus. No, not less kind. Mm. we will return this a little bit because it's actually good. On that account and other similar things, there is the grass right under their feet, which has to be more texture. Mm, yes. And from here on out, we could probably texture it further if we wanted to. Um, I'm a bit concerned about the rainbow personally, and a couple other things, but I'm sure it'll be fine. We would be fine, wouldn't we? Wouldn't, shall we? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then once more, but not too much. It's mostly too blurred, I suppose. What does the flag look like, Colin? Ah, so that was the start strip. That being said, the color it chose for it was off. Yes. Perhaps this one? Do not look into it. There is nothing to look into. If I'm staying consistent to my seaming, if nothing else. Alright. Don't worry about it. I don't think I should delete that whole thing. I'll come back to it basically. Um. Mhm, mhm. And they say I lack creativity. They don't, but nonetheless. Mhm. Again, nothing to see here. Simple flowers and whatnot. Do I have any other textured brushes? Oh, that's pretty good. Come here. Come on. Delete it. Yes. Mm. I don't really like what it did in the other corner. That's because that other color is corner is corner. Yes, it's not pastel enough anyway. Where's my screen selection? No. Color grids? No. Why does add glow work? It's unheard of. Maybe screen? No. If not screen, then lighten. Yes. Blur, Gaussian blur. No, not that badly. I don't think it's that bad. I think it might be working out. Hmm. Give it a moment. It needs to wake up. Hey, nothing is not consistent on the way that I draw sometimes. No, actually, that's not true. It would mean I'm nothing because I'm not consistent whatsoever. But this particular time, I think it looks pretty together with all my other pieces. Not that, again, this is my goal by any chance, but, but, please be normal, please be normal, please be normal. I think that's normal. Yes. Not bad. How are we feeling about this? Good? Good, I hope? I think it's good. I might make this more. No, I would. Maybe just like do that. Yeah, that's not bad. Indeed. Ah! Oops, wrong size. Now we wait to guess until it's actually done. Yep, seems good to me. This is good, right? It's not, you know, it's fine, right? I can't quite figure out. I know that the sheer amount of color and like the rainbow and everything makes it look like a kid's drawing, but honestly, I like the color. I always like colors. Colors are great. Hmm. Hmm. I think this is good. I could always add more patterns or something. That could make it feel more adult, I guess. So there's less blurry lines and more hard ones. And, you know, maybe interconnected with it. Don't know. Could try recoloring this thing. Absolutely not. Weirdly enough, it's better. But please be normal, please be normal, please be normal, please be normal, please be normal. Please be normal. And now we pray it doesn't crash. This could be good. Or I could just leave it as is. That'd be fine too, in my personal opinion. Hmm. No, this is definitely better. Hmm. I think I'll move the horses a little bit so that it looks like it's their shadow in the middle. Or at least the white horse. Not sure about the other ones. I mean, it's kind of worse. Hmm. No, I don't like it. Literally press anything. Literally. Hmm. Perhaps at one point soon, though. Okay, it feels better. Great. Hmm. Not too close. But it kind of is nicer if it's that way. Hmm. Oh, right. Horses have eyes. Oh, good lord. Horse. Save me, horse. Where are the horse's eyes positioned? Hmm. I don't know. In my humble opinion, it should be enough, but it's not, is it? I'm gonna have to actually discolor it. Hmm. This is where we learn. Is it overlay that does it? No, it's not overlay. Um, hard light. Hard light kind of does it. Hmm. Something about it's just not right. I don't know what it is. I think that's the end of us. Is that? Hmm. Yeah, I think that's probably pretty good. Can't go much better than that. You could try adding flowers, I suppose. I think we're done. I do truly believe we're done.
that was great. Thank you for tuning in. It's been very fun. And tune in for next time. Next week, we're reading more books on Monday at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Our, well, usual time for all of you as the stream is already scheduled, so you can check it out on my page. And I hope you enjoyed that. Have a good rest of your day or night,